Okay, so let me give you a quick background about my friend, so you'll know exactly what type of person and what type of life he has. So, my friend, he's around 50 years old. He does have 5 kids. Currently, he migrated to this country, I think 3 or 4 years ago, trying to make some living so he could send money to his family to support them with their life. However, he's and like I don't know how to explain it, but he's more of like a nice guy. He does work every day hard, very hard, trying to do anything in his power to make the best he can to send money to his family so they could stay alive. His family do still live in Syria, and right now Syria is not the greatest country to be in. And as everybody knows, it's the war and lack of food and everything they have in there. So it is a difficult life for him and for his family. So I guess um, the scam that happened to him, which ended yesterday, started, like I said earlier, around 6 to 7 years ago, maybe more. I'm not quite sure. It's just from the story that I heard from him. It all started when he was working in the Middle East. I'm not sure in which country he was working at, but he got a call from Ghana, which it's in Africa. And the phone call was about a relative of his that he knows it was in his family, but he's never met. Um, anyway, so this relative, I guess, he passed away and he left him a lot of money. And the number to be exact was 17,500,000 dollars. It's a massive account. I mean, somebody tell you is like, oh, you got somebody leaving you this much money, you'll just go, oof. But we have to be realistic also and kind of think, and it's like, is this real or it's not real? So I guess it started with them telling him that he has that much money and he need to come down to Ghana to sign some paperwork and you know start retrieving this money and collecting it. He started asking him for proofs. They did give him some papers and some stuff to show, which all was fake. But to him and in that time, it seemed right. So he booked a flight, borrowed the money, I guess, or something, and went down there um, to see it. So according to them, they took him into a bank in Ghana, and they took him to the back, and there were like many guards and cops and other stuff, and they made him go inside a safe, and they told him that the money he's looking at, that's the money that was left for him by his relative that who died, and according to him, he did see the money, he did touch it, and it seemed right, and it was like just many of $100 bills stacked on top of each other. It's just crazy thinking about it. Anyway, I guess they knew that he was in need for money, and that was their key point to just pretty much control his brain and make him believe that it's true. And especially for somebody who's seeing that much money, and he knows that that much money will change his life and would make him live and make his family live better. It would pretty much block everything around him and block all the fact that it might be fake and make everything seem real. So after they took him out of that room, they supposedly sat with the manager, the bank manager, or somebody in the bank, and he was telling him that he needs to pay 17% of the full amount in order to open the account and be able to retrieve the money that he has. And I guess they had a name for the account and how the money was in it. And there was somehow they needed to get certain paperwork and a court order and all this chaos to get this money out. And he needs to pay money up front to get the rest of the money. So they told him that he needs to pay 1% off of that 17,500,000, which 17,500, and he had to pay some other fees on top of it in order to retrieve the rest of the money. Years went by, and he kept sending money and trying to do it and borrowing money right and left from people until this day. According to him, he sent the scammer, which his name is, everybody just keep that in mind, his name is Bill Loco. I am not ashamed to say it, and I would repeat it. His name is Bill Loco. He's from Ghana, Africa. So the scam that Bill did, that he's been telling him that he needs to pay a certain amount of money and stuff, for the past 6-7 years, like I was saying. So till this year, according to him, he's paid over $60,000. He sent Bill Loco over $60,000, which is an insane amount of money for somebody who needs to support his family. And I guess this guy's been just stealing a little bit every month from him. And with the years, this money adds up. If he's sending him $10,000 a year, and 6 years from now, that's $70,000. And every time he sends him money, he has another excuse to convince him that something else happened or whatsoever. Through those years, what he made him see was a lot of different things. And there was a lot of factors that kept him on the hook. For example, after he left, and they told him pay a certain amount of money, and then what we will do, we'll give you a debit card, and then you'll be able to retrieve the money off of it and send it over to whatever country you're in. So what he did, he sent them some money, I guess, in the beginning, and they opened a bank account and they sent him a debit card, I guess. And then this debit card, he tried to use it, and he's seen $17,500,000 under his account page under that card. And every time he was saying that he tried to retrieve the money out of it, it will give him a message that was called, you cannot retrieve this message because of the IRS, some other stuff. So I'm not sure what type of message was that. I'm sure it's a lie. And that was just something they wrote on the website that made it come out to just make him believe it. So after he's seen that money, he was hooked to the T. He was in. And they were able to manipulate and control him however they wanted because they made him see that money. So every time he try to get the money, they'll get that message and he'll contact them and they'll tell him, oh, well, there is something happening and maybe we have to pay this fee and that fee. And this went on for a couple of years until he was completely flat and he couldn't do anything. So to keep the scam going and for them to keep him on the hook, they told him that because no activities have happened in the account, they actually shut the account down. And he would need to pay extra money now to open it again. Which is insane. It's like he already paid that much money and now they want him to pay more money. It's just a scammer who's living life off of a poor guy. That, I guess, his brain was just washed by them. Anyway, so what happened? Time kept going by and I met this friend of mine 3 years ago. Recently he came to me in the beginning of the year and he was like, hey, I have a secret to tell you and I want you to know about this and maybe you could help me out. So I was like, sure, so what's the problem? So he did tell me this story that I just told you, and then I was mind blown and I was like, but to me this seems like a scam. I mean, it's been going on for that long, you've spent this much money and they haven't gave you anything. And for me working in IT, it just had so many red flags. And not just because I work in IT. I mean, everybody listens to the story, you would think it's fake. And then he went to his house, brought some paperwork, and came back, and he started showing me letters and messages from the actual bank. It's called Bank of Ghana or something. And they had stamps on it, and it seems all real. So I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it might be real, but it might be not real. So I started doing some research, light research, trying to figure it out. And I got a lot of red flags, but a lot of stuff did make sense and it seemed real. So I told them I'm not going to be able to help you and I am not willing to give the money because to me it sounds like it's fake and I don't think you should keep going with it, especially the fact that there's a lot of scammers online and from Ghana exactly that they do stuff like this. Not being against Ghana or anybody or whatsoever. It just, if you look at the government's website and if you do some deeper research, there's actually a ton of scammers that they come from Africa. And longer down in the story, you'll see one of the other reasons why I say there's a lot of scammers in that area. Anyway, in the beginning of the year, I told him I'm not going to be able to do it and whatsoever, and he was like, "Oh, I only need 17,000 to reactivate the account, and I need another 5,000 to get court order and some other paperwork, so they could take the money from the Central Bank of Ghana to another bank. So they are taking it pretty much from the government bank to a private bank, so they could retrieve the money." So I told him I'm not going to be able to do it, and I apologized, and I was like, I really don't think you should send him any more money. It sounds fake. And he kept telling me, no, it's real, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, let me talk to the guy. Like, I want to ask him a couple more questions to just, make sure that I'm not telling you it's fake and I'm not 100%. He calls the guy, and it was like 9 o'clock at night Central Time, and I know in Ghana it was probably like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And the guy answered the phone, and he kept talking for over 20 minutes, and then every time I asked him a question to make him give me proof of the existence of the money, he'll just go around and come up with a different scenario. He was very smart, I guess. Like, he knew what to talk, and he knew how to convince with his talking. He didn't convince me. I couldn't get any proof off of him. And he's like, oh, I'll send you paperwork, blah, 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 and I'll show you certain stuff. And he starts sending proofs to me. Supposedly there were proof of the money existence, but the paperwork sounded wrong. Like, looked fake to me. Which, keep in mind, it did have actually bank logos on it and signatures and name of bankers and whatsoever. The one thing that kind of blew my mind, that on one of those papers they had a name of the name of a manager of a bank in Ghana, and I went online and I looked up that name, and it was actually true, and that name had a signature next to it, and it had the guy's information in it to call him. So I tried to call the guy, I never got through to just prove it. It was completely odd. It just didn't make any sense. Anyway, so I was like, I'm not going to listen to him. I'm still not going to give you the money, and I hope, and I asking you to not give him the money. It's just fake. Months went by, and I think in May or June of this year, the COVID happened and everything went off. And then I guess in June, that guy started calling him again, telling him when he's going to send him the money. So I guess from June till this day, my friend was convinced again, hooked again, and he did send him incrementals of that $5,000 because he told him he doesn't have to do the $17,000. He found a bank that does not want the $17,000. It will agree to only take in the $5,000 to open the account. And so through those 3 months past, I guess he's been sending incrementals, like small chunks, through Western Union. And I guess Western Union, which I'm going to give thumbs up to Western Union, and you guys will know in a bit, Western Union only allows certain number to go to Africa, or to exactly to Ghana in Africa, a month. And he sent 500, 500, 500 every other week, I think, or something, until Western Union paid attention, and they did something which I'll get to in a bit. Anyway, so he comes to me, I think a month ago, and he goes, "Hey, I want to talk to you about something that I kind of get back to." And I was like, "So what's going on?" And he did tell me that this happened, and he's been sending in the money and so on. And I was like, "Come on, why you're doing it again? Like, what happened?" And he's like, "Hey, well, look, the bank, not the bank, well, the manager of Fidelity Bank in Ghana had sent him an email explaining what he needs to pay and what he needs to do to have the account open." So I'm like, "Okay, show me the email." So he showed me the email, and it was from Fidelity Online Bank. So I was like, well, maybe that's their website. I didn't look much into it then, but I told him, I was like, it doesn't make sense. Like, the information in the email stating that he needs to pay $5,000 to be able to open a business account, a foreign business account. And then whenever he opens it, they'll give him a credit card and so on. So they pretty much convinced him that he opens the account, he'll give him a credit card, or a debit card, and then he'll be able to retrieve the money. In that email, there was nothing about the $17,500,000. So I kept asking him, I was like, did the manager of the bank tell you that they're going to give you that money? And he's like, no, they're doing this. So he was hooked again. He was just programmed to say certain stuff that they told him, and he was just completely hooked. So anyway, I told him I still cannot give you the money. He only wanted this time 2,000 because he already sent him 3,000 according to him, and they're only missing 2. And he was like, this is the last time. I want to give him the 2,000 and get a peace of mind. If it doesn't work, then I know I got lied to, and if it did work, then I have the money. So I told him I'm not going to be able to give him the money, and again, because I know it's fake, and I'm almost 90% sure then that it was fake, but he's not believing what I'm saying. So days went by, and I guess a week ago, I saw him and I was like, "Hey, so what ended up happening with you? Did you send the money? Like, did you listen to what I said and not send the money anymore?" And he's like, "Well, I did, but something else happened. I did send the 2,000. I borrowed it from another friend of mine. I didn't tell him why I need it, but he was nice enough to give me the money. I sent the money, and Western Union came back a couple days after that and gave me the money back and said that they will not be transferring the money to Ghana to that party anymore for a reason, and they gave him a whole list. So in that list it said Ghana's been one of the top countries in scams. He needs, well, top of the cities in scam because it's not a country, but top of the cities in scam. A lot of scammers are coming from Ghana, and they're saying stuff like what has been telling him. So for that reason, the only way that he can send money to Ghana would be less than $500 a month total, and on top of it, it has to be a mother or father, or sister or dad, or somebody relative to him. So it cannot be individual sending to another individual. It has to be family relative. So because of that, they gave him the $2,000 back, and they said that we're not going to send it. So whenever he told me, I was like, "Dude, I told you this is fake. I'm like, do not send the money anymore. Like, God came on your side and helped you and retrieved that money back to you. I know it's not the whole amount, but it's something. Don't waste it. Send that money to your family and have him have a little bit of a better life rather than giving it to that guy, which he doesn't deserve it, because he's just been stealing money from you for a long freaking time." Couple days went by until yesterday, and that was the final of this story. Yesterday, he comes by, and I asked him again. And I was like, so, what did you end up doing after Western Union told you to not send the money anymore? And he was like, well, I told him and I confronted the guy that he is fake and he's just stealing my money, and that's what Western Union told me. And he said, no, I'm not fake, blah, blah, blah. He disappeared for a day or two, and then he came back and he was like, hey, here's your login information to the bank account and whatsoever, and this will show you that your money is in the bank, and we're just waiting for you to send the rest of the money to activate the account. So when he told me that, and I was like, do you mind if I get this information so I could do some online search on it, look at the website, validate that it's real, and just make sure it's all right. So he was like, and I was like, just please let me look at it, let me validate it. I could tell if the domain of the website is fake or if it's real, or when was it purchased, and all these little things that you'll be able to tell if it's fake or right. And what I'm going to show you right now, guys, is how to check certain things on a website to validate its existence, or if it's a real website or it's a fake website. So let's get started. So we said the original website is this. This is the fidelitybank.com period Ghana. So whenever it says GH, that usually for the first two letters of the city it's in. If you look at it, just start looking at the website, we look at the header, and to me it looks like a professional person who was building the website. It looks nice, it's organized, the drop down menus are clear, all of them do work. If you click on stuff, it actually takes you to different pages. It's filled with information, so for sure this is not fake. Whenever you click on anything, you do see information in it. Also, they advertise that they do have a mobile app on all their pages. A scammer is not going to build a mobile app and do a website. It's just too much money to spend. They want the money, they don't want to spend the money, so they do something cheap. Building a website is a very cheap way to scam someone. So, looking at the original website, that's the valid true website. That's Fidelity Bank website. And the bottom, which we call the footer, you do see a lot of information. They do give you information about the customer service. They tell you what's their phone numbers, how to activate your cards. They give you information about them, and a lot of extra information on the bottom. Usually on every website in the bottom you should see it's information about the copyrights of the website, and a little bit of disclaimer and privacy and security information, facts, and whatsoever. So this tells you there is actually information in this website, because that's just a lot of work to add all these pages on the bottom. That's each button you click, that's actually a page. So there's a lot of work. You could tell it's a legit website. There's other ways also to validate the existence of the website, and I'll show you that in a bit. Looking at the fake website would be this guy. So this is the fake website. So what the scammer did, Bill Local, they copied the Fidelity Bank logo, which, if you could tell, it's a little bit blurry, so it's not a real logo. That was my first red flag. That's a clear logo. That's a blurry logo. So he literally snipped it out of that page. He just literally put a square, stole that logo, and he was done. Second, where was it? Second thing, looking at the menu bar. The menu bar looks like a little beginner, somebody who's beginning to learn how to do website, build it. I mean, come on guys, look at it. This comparing to this. I mean, you could tell this is fake. Somebody just made a quick page and somebody did a good page. The other thing, the actual website, if you look at the URL for the website, it said fidelitybank.com. That's the original domain. What the guy did, he went online on GoDaddy or whatever other websites, tried to look for domains that he put the word Fidelity in it. So what he did Fidelity Online Bank. That domain was active, was up for sale. He bought it for $10, I guess, because that's how much they go for. And he built his website against it. Also, he did spend a little bit of extra money to be able to send emails from this as well. So the emails that the guy was getting, my friend, they were, for example, accounting at fidelity.com, at fidelityonlinebank.com, and some other stuff. So to make my friend believe that actually it was from that, it was from an actual bank. Looking at the website again, most of those links do not work. If you click on it many of times, it will take you to a random page, which looks like somebody literally just built it. I mean, who puts a return, like a return to the page, to the home page on the right? It's normally like right here, or it's just looks better. You could tell all the graphics are not the original graphics. They're all fake. They're all blurry. They're not right. It's hard to read. He literally just designed a website to make my friend believe that it's actually true. Looking at the website, it's totally fake, completely fake. The other funny part, he copied images from the other original website. For example, this young woman right here with the phone, the image is right there on the original website. The girl right here, he copied it too. See, he did the same exact slide. He wrote the same exact information. See, he copied the website. The family right here with the information, flip account, he copied the same thing and he put it in his account right here. He literally tried to copy as much as he can from the original website and put it in his website. You keep going down and you could tell the bad work in building the website, and that's when you know it's a scammer. That's not right. The more you click into the website, the more you start seeing empty and mistaked pages. This shouldn't be there. You click on the images, it just takes you back to the front page. You click on the picture, it doesn't give you any information, it just opens the picture. He just did a normal slide. Internet banking, and that was the mistake. So if you click internet banking on their website, it gives you retail banking or corporate to choose, and then it gives you a more of a realistic page, a realistic login page, and it's HTTP secure, so it is secured on his end. That was whatever. He just putting stuff together. Normally on any bank, when you try to log into your bank, they ask you for extra information, maybe like a PIN, a phone number, username, password. They normally will ask you to multi-authentication, so they'll send you a message to your phone and then you approve it. And then also in the bottom they put sign up and they put forget my PIN. So this is a way for you to reset your password. On his end, when he did internet banking, it will tell him continue to sign in, and he'll need a username and a password and sign in. And see how it all got messed up? You can't see what's behind it, and there is no reset my password. There is no like any information. It just looks wrong. Like it just doesn't look right. So the guy gave him a username and a password. Normally when a bank gives you a username and a password, the second you log in, it will ask you to reset your password or to generate your own password. In his case, no. The username they gave him was his first name and then FB were for Facebook. Genius. And couple numbers, his birthday, his year he was born in. So it's like How smart can you be, dude? Like, this is the most creative password ever. I mean, username. But the password, come on, guys. It was genius. It was 15 numbers. No symbols, no letters, no uppercase, no lowercase. It just straight out numbers. And by them giving him a password like this, it's like a bank would never give you a password that's only numbers. A password normally should contain different letters, uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and symbols, and other stuff. So you cannot just have a straight number with password. So the second I saw that, when he gave me that paper, I'm like, come on, dude. Like, all the stuff I showed you, to me, that's fake. And now you're giving me a username and a password like that, and I'm, come on, this is fake. So he's looking at the screen and he's like confused and not sure what to say. So we logged into his webpage. And keep in mind, guys, I'm not going to put his information. I'm going to open that page from my history, which I just did earlier, and show you his information. So let me go to my history, and I'm going to show you his information, because the smart guys, they did put a timer on the page, so it will time out in 10 minutes and will kick him out of the screen and it will take him back to this. So right now I'm literally just gonna paste it, and boom, this is the account they gave him. Looking at it, to me, this is a joke. Like, literally, this is a joke. Who has a bank account that would show like this? Nothing works. If you click on read, it doesn't work. Numbers are very unclear. And debit is 3,000, credit is minus 5,000, balance is 3,800. Oh yeah, that's 3,800. Here to complete account activation, and if you scroll down, they have logout transfer, which that's what they convinced them with, and click here to begin funds. It's a joke. So guys, this is fake. Don't fall for stuff like this. When somebody gives you a page like this is fake. This is not what a bank account page should look like. You cannot copy that link, post it on any web browser. For example, let's go to IE and post it in it. If that opened, that is fake. I don't use IE, so don't judge. But let's see. This is taking forever. Come on, IE. I mean, just the fact that you logged into the page once and were able to get to it again. Okay, paste. Boom. Look at that. I was just able to open it through IE. I mean, come on. This is just fake. This is a joke fake. The other way to look at a website, because some actual scammers may be smart enough to create a very, very, very close looking website to the original one, and sometimes you might mistake it. So other things to look when you're looking for a website is what you could do. Actually, you could look who owns that domain. So, for example, if it's a bank, you would expect that this domain has been alive for at least 10 years, or for how long the bank was on. Some banks, they were open in 1995, so whenever you do the domain lookup, so just to make it clear, this is the domain. Something.com. That's what makes it a domain. That's what we call it, a domain. To look at that up, to find how old is this, it will tell you if the actual thing is real or fake. Looking at their joke, or at the guy's joke. So right now I'm going to bring in the two pages. Let's bring in this page to show you guys cool stuff. And I'm going to bring this page. Okay. So In those pages, I am going to compare and show you how you could tell if it's real or not. So right now I am on GoDaddy, and what I typed is um, who owns this domain, and it gives you one of the options. GoDaddy will actually look up the domain for you and tell you who owns it. So I searched the original bank domain, right? So the original bank's domain was fidelitybank.com. If you read further down, it says updated on 2007 and 3. It's good. Created, which the creation date, which is the most important thing you need to look at. It's 1996. In 04, 1996. So this tells me this is a real website. It's been up for that long. This is not a fake. Expiration date is in 04, 18, 24. A bank would never have their website expire next year. And the more you read into it, there is actually valid information. When you go to the fake website, here's the fun. Updated date was 06/28, so 3 months ago. Creation date was 3 months ago. Expiration date is next year. So literally he bought 1 year for the domain. Registrar's name, namecheap.inc, genius. And registered email address is abuse@namecheap.com. Cool. And other just stupid information. I mean, come on. Whenever I looked at this, and there's other website that gives you more detailed information about the owner, you'll be able to tell it's fake. So, long story short, this is how you catch a fake scammer. So I hope everybody did learn something out of it. After I told my friend and I showed him all this yesterday, he wasn't shocked. I guess he was relieved in a way because he know that it was done and it's all fake. Yes, it did hurt him. Yes, he was depressed big time, but that's life. You know, people get scammed, and it's not the first time, and it's not going to be the last time. So everybody out there, I really, really, really wish for all of you guys to pay attention and not listen to some garbage that people put online and tells you to, sign up here and we'll send you $100. Sign up there and we'll do it. It is not. It's not how it works. Nobody's going to give you free money. Work for your money. Normally, most of those people who tells you sign up, we'll do this, do that, we'll do that, they take your information and they sell it. Or they take your money and they lie. And they make you pay more. And then you got your money stolen away from you. So please, please, please be careful. Ask people, and check with others, and tell them, hey, this isn't this what's happening to me. What do you think? Does it sound right to you? Does it sound wrong? If you're not sure, you could go on the FBI's website. They do have a lot of information in regards of people getting scammed. So you could read information on their website as well. So everybody, I wish you the best of luck out there. Thank you for listening, and subscribe.